We're on.
Hey, we're on. Hey, welcome everybody. For those of you we just got here, this is my excuse me. This is Ian at Opinion, and I have a very special guest this evening. He's from Shanie Entertainie. Please welcome Shanie. Say hello, Shanie.
Hello, Shanie.
Oh, you're very funny. He's going to do a ventriloquist act in a minute. And in case you saw earlier today on Twitter or anywhere else that I posted, we're having our live stream tonight, and we're going to be talking about the toys that made us, the series. There are 2 seasons in the show right now. It's a new Netflix series, and I'm flipping crazy about it. So, Shanie, have you seen? First of all, how are you?
I'm great. Awesome. How are you?
He's just great and awesome up there where he lives. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. If you're here, let us know that you're here. Join the group chat and just say hi to us, or live chat, or whatever that is. All right. So, if you're here, let us know that you're here. Join the group chat.
Hey, Stormtrooper babe.
Or live chat, whatever.
Stormtrooper babe just joined.
So, she did. Where are you seeing this?
I'm seeing this on the feed. Hey, Stormtrooper babe.
Okay. Let me see. Maybe I don't need group chat. Hold on one sec. Let me get this.
This is getting.
Oh, should I open up YouTube and look at that? Let's see. Maybe I don't need group chat. Hold on one sec. Let me get this.
This is getting.
Oh, should I open up YouTube and look at that? Let's go. Hold on one sec. Let me get this.
This is getting.
Oh, should I?
Hi.
Hey, Stormtrooper babe. How are you? Oh, here we are. Okay.
Are we good?
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Hello.
Now I can see everything.
So you're in charge of the chat.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay, so I'm getting I'm getting a little bit of excuse me, I'm getting a little bit of feedback, but okay. I know I'm in charge of the chat. I'm going.
Turn off the volume on the on your YouTube. That's why if you don't want feedback. Just on the YouTube, if you have it open, turn the volume on.
Okay. There we go. Hello, Stormtrooper babe. How are you? It's hot as hell here right now, isn't it? Okay. So anyway, so we're going to talk about the toys that made us. I finally saw this probably like 5-6 months ago when they were doing their very first season, and they do 4 per season. So they covered the roots of Star Wars, He-Man, Barbie, and G.I. Joe. Right, Shanie?
Yep. Okay. That was the first season. I watched that.
I really liked it. And then the second season. What was the second season?
The second season was Transformers, Lego, Hello Kitty, and there was another one.
Was it GoBots?
No. Shoot. Now I'm trying to remember. It was.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Let's talk about the first season because that had like all my favorites in there. First of all,
Star Trek.
Star Trek. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that. God, Star Trek. What a weird line of toys. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what of those 4 in the first season? What was your biggest? Was it Star Wars?
No, for me it's Transformers. Of the first season?
Of the first season.
The first season for me was He-Man. Obviously, I'm a big He-Man guy.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't know if people know that about me, but I was huge on Stormtrooper. I'm sorry. I was looking at Stormtrooper babe. I was huge on Stormtrooper babe. I was huge on He-Man. I would come home every day and watch it after school because it was on at I think 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon. And then one day, just out of absolutely nowhere, my dad, because we were very middle class, we didn't have a lot of money, and the figures back then, whether it was like He-Man or Star Wars, was the equivalent of probably about $8 to $10 by today's money. So that's kind of a lot. Yes, you are, Stormtrooper babe. You are very popular right now. You are all the rage. Stormtrooper babe says that she's very popular right now. Yes, she is.
I see. Yeah, you know, my best Christmas ever that I ever had is still, this is like the one, I think everybody has that one Christmas that they remember. For me, it
Oh my
was
God, yeah.
when my brother and I we were shared the same room, and we heard rustling. This is where we're talking about 1982, something like that. And we hear rustling in the other room, and I don't know who it is. I'm like, is it Santa Claus? Is it Santa Claus? And then my brother like, well, let's go check, right? We weren't allowed to check because we said if you saw Santa Claus, he'd leave, like he wouldn't give you your presents, so you had to stay in bed. But we snuck out anyway.
He's like, fuck you, kids, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
He turned into Scrooge and just took off. So we snuck out and we went to look, and we caught my parents. That's when we caught my parents wrapping our gifts. And they were, and my mom and dad, they were like, what are you guys doing? You're supposed to be in bed. And we were like, oh, no. We thought we heard Santa Claus. And we go, how come you guys are wrapping our gifts? He goes, well, Santa Claus was already here and told us to wrap it. That's how it works. Right. So they had to keep the lie.
Mm-hmm.
And what they were wrapping was like they had gotten all of the He-Man, like almost not the entire collection, but it was like Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain for me. My brother got Castle Grayskull, He-Man.
That's another episode.
Hello.
Hello, He-Man.
And
whatever it takes. Whatever it takes here at Opinion and Shanie Entertainie. We'll get you watching.
Yeah. Castle Grayskull. Yeah, so it was like wow, like the first Christmas we had that was just like everything like we won. It was like, wow, it was the greatest Christmas ever. And one day, I mean, we didn't have a lot of money either, which was weird because my parents, they spent a lot on those toys for us for Christmas, which we were spoiled brats. We probably didn't deserve it, but that was my fondest Christmas. I remember still those days because we just spent the rest of the night playing with it.
So the show itself, I really like the show. I actually don't think that 4 episodes is enough, but there's only so many toys that they can cover. And I was kind of predicting, I was like, I bet they're after season 1, they're going to do all the big ones. But the biggest surprises of season 1 for me was, one, I didn't know that Barbie, well, 2 surprises with Barbie. I didn't know that Barbie was kind of inspired by like a Swedish sex doll, not a sex doll like a big one that you would buy and do things to, but just a little one that was for guys. And it was just like this sexy little, what would have been back then a Barbie doll. And they kind of styled it after that. That was number 1. And number 2 was, I didn't know that the woman who invented Barbie was later indicted for charged with fraud.
Yeah, she was kicked out of her own company.
She was kicked out, and then she was welcomed back with open arms. They're like, "Oh, we love you so much," and so that was a big surprise for me. He-Man, I loved seeing all the art. That was Castle Grayskull Stormtrooper. I'll talk about that in a second, but I love seeing all the art that it came from. And as a kid, I didn't know the order of things. So what I mean by that is that like I got a whole bunch of figures all at once, and I didn't realize that most of the characters were in the cartoon from the very beginning. For some reason, I thought of He-Man figures as Star Wars figures. So I thought that they came out just like every year they were adding new figures, and that the cartoon would start showing the new characters once they were out. That is not how it worked at all. Because like Orko was in it from the beginning. I love Tila. Tila was in it from the beginning. And I don't know why I thought that way. I was very Star Wars minded about what figures were going to be in it. What also cracked me up was all the discrepancies between, yes, it was a small Swedish sex doll, Stormtrooper Baby. Can you believe that? You should watch the series because you'd really like it. It's on Netflix and it's so easy to watch. But
I like how Star Wars started the whole thing. Like I was never big in Star Wars at the time, like toys wise. Like I had a few toys, but for some reason I never collected the toys that much. I had a few, but not like I didn't collect it but I didn't realize until that show just how influential the Star Wars toys was. Like every other toy line, like He-Man, G.I. Joe, all of that stuff, they wanted to follow the footsteps of what what Star Wars did. Everyone at the time, because remember they said before that it was all just coming out with like big toys, and then you just mix like these different toys lines together. It was the first time with Star Wars where they actually had an entire lineup of the same toy, like different figures and stuff, and it was innovative. And
yeah, it really was Star Wars that started all of that. I mean, they pretty much put the precedent on the 3 3/4 inch figure.
Yeah, they didn't. It was always big before then.
Yeah, and play sets became a thing, and they had to make the ships, and they had to make everything that was scaled down to the figures. And did you see the part about the guy? He said, "Oh, well, it's about this tall. It's as tall as my finger, or whatever it was." And they measured it, I guess, tip to table, and that was 3 3/4 inches. So that's how they came up with that. I loved that, and
just how George Lucas came off like a bandit, remember? Because like Kenner didn't want to give him like he didn't want the rights or something, and George Lucas, I think he had the rights to all the toys, and that's why he made out like a bandit at the end, because no one expected the toys to sell like that.
Because they're like, this isn't gonna sell.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting. Back to He-Man for a sec. One of the things that I thought was very what was I gonna say? Like a discrepancy was the little comic books that came with the figures were pretty different from how the figures looked, and then the figures were very different from the Filmation cartoon. Well, I could never figure out which came first.
Well, at first, what happened was the toy line came out first, and then when they said to themselves, like the execs, whatever, and they said, well, we need to do it like Star Wars because nobody's going to know the characters. So then they said, well, we got to have a comic book. And so I think they worked out a deal with a comic book company, and then these little mini comics that would come with toys, so it would tell you what was what. That came first. The Filmation cartoon came a little bit after that, when they started selling the toys and started making a little more. Then the cartoon came out, and there was all a bunch of crap with the cartoon because they were like, oh, it's too violent, and they didn't want to do it. So that's why they had to have the at the end of the cartoon, they always had to have the moral of the story.
In today's story, we went, yeah, I know, the little PSAs.
Yeah, but they had to do that because it was too violent, and they weren't allowed to use their weapons against each other. That's another thing. If you notice in the cartoon, you couldn't use the sword against another individual in the cartoon. It was very tame.
Hey, Mike, nice to see you. Yay, Mike Stanmore's here. Hello, Mike Stanmore.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, mate. Mike, I need to know, are you in Australia? Do you say mate and g'day and all that? Because I lived in Australia for a little while during part of my schooling. So I'm dying to know that. So let us know in the comments there. But yeah, if you're just joining us, we are talking about the toys that made us. We're talking about what we love about the show. It's a Netflix series that gives you the origins of all these different toy lines, and kind of like the biggest toy lines, probably the 80s, that were pretty big phenomenons. So something that also struck me with a similarity between G.I. Joe and He-Man was something you were just talking about, where like nobody could die, right? So on He-Man, you've got people always going and shooting each other with lasers. There was an occasional sword fight now and then, but G.I. Joe, no one could die on the cartoon.
Yeah, everyone conveniently parachuted out of it at the right time.
They got out of there like just in the nick of time. So, no one was ever killed, which means the cartoon could keep going on and on and on and on, which I thought was.
And then they introduced the bats, which were those robots. I don't know if you remember, they were like black with that silver face. And then they were like used as fodder because they were just like mass produced and you could shoot them. And then they started using like shooting them because they were robots, so who cared?
Yeah. Yeah. Same in Robot. It's same in He. You know what? I don't want to get too off track, but something that was the only actual character I ever saw die on He-Man was Evil Seed, and he was like the plant that came to Eternia, and everything was overgrowing. It was like that one episode in Creepshow where the vines land and they grow all over everything. And Stephen King plays that poor guy out in the cabin who gets covered, and he gets he's in Newcastle. Hello. I lived in Sydney for half a year. Yay. So glad to have you here, Mike. But he's the only one that I ever saw die. And I guess that was okay because he was a plant. I don't know.
Well, I don't remember that episode, but there's I don't know, because I haven't seen the show in forever, so it's been a long time. And I have the entire DVD collection. Go figure.
Yeah, I actually don't have the cartoon. I just have one double DVD, and it's the 20 best episodes from season 1 and 2. And I think, wasn't it only on for 2 seasons?
Yeah, but they had like 300 episodes in 2 seasons or something.
Yeah, it was 65 episodes per season. I know that.
Yeah, it was like crazy at the time, right? They just like now it's like anime. They only do 13. Like they can have it run for like how long? They only do 13 episodes a season now, right? So it's like it could have been on for multiple seasons.
Yeah. What's Mike saying? He says I have a cousin who still has the full run of original Star Wars figures. I do too. I have them all, even the variations and the like. That's you should have
You should have put them.
They're right over there. I can go get some.
Get some.
I can go get them, Ian. All right, give me a minute.
Go get them.
I'll let Shanie talk in a minute while I'm going to get some Star Wars figures. Hey, Toriel. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
What was I going to say? Were you ever into G.I. Joe? Because I wasn't.
Me? Yeah, I was huge into G.I. Joe.
Were you?
I was huge into everything. But later on, for some reason, I didn't get it on like when it first came out. It was like 1985, I think, is when I really started getting into it. The vehicles were what got me with G.I. Joe, and I wasn't even into the G.I. Joe vehicles. I actually liked Cobra vehicles because they were more inventive. I found like they were too military, like they seemed too much like military like G.I. Joe vehicles were too like military based, whereas they were more creative. The Cobra vehicles were way more creative. They just were weird, like a big tire that just spun around and with spikes on it and stuff like that. I liked when it was more creative and that kind of stuff. But and I still I just bought a couple at the Toy Con I just came from.
Oh yeah, that's right. You've been going to cons and stuff.
Well, at least like this is this.
There it is. There it is. Did you notice in the series that kind of like all those toy lines kind of hit their peak? Like, I don't know if Barbie did it so much, but G.I. Joe definitely did it. He-Man did it. Star Wars did it just because the movies were ending and the people from that generation were growing up, so there weren't really people to make toys for anymore. But with G.I. Joe and He-Man, did you see the play sets kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until G.I. Joe made like that, basically like an aircraft carrier that only one of my friends had. And
it's called the Flag. I remember that. I wanted it so bad. I took up the whole room.
I remember someone in my neighborhood had that, and he everyone would go over to his house. He'd have like flag parties. Like he was the one person in the neighborhood whose parents bought him that, and then everyone else, I don't know, they just kind of like shared it. And then He-Man made Eternia. They made the Eternia playset. I think it was $90.
It was huge,
and that was outrageous for back then because that was like $200 now. I don't know my economics that well, but that was a lot by those days standards. What do you think about the show itself? Like how it's presented and the editing?
I love it.
I do too.
I do. Like when it's over, I'm sad because like it gives you the feelies, like the feelies, the ones like like you watch, you're like, oh, and it's in like for instance, it's like you said, the stuff you don't know that just really blows your mind. Like, did you know that G.I. Joe, the original G.I. Joe figure, the big one, the massive one, originated from a Ken doll? Did you know that? Yeah, they took a Ken doll prototype.
Yeah, because they wanted to make a Barbie size doll, but for boys, but they would call it an action.
Yeah.
An action figure. You can't be a doll if you're a boy. It's got to be an action figure. And then they have all these accessories. And for Barbie and for G.I. Joe, that's how they get you by having you buy all this. Can I have a machine gun now? He just came out with a jungle set. Can we get that? Yeah, I know how it works. I know how.
Mommy, can I?
Oh, Mr. Stanmore, hello. I'm glad I brought this over here by my computer. So in the States, I don't know if they have them there, but they just re-released, if you can see this here, they just re-released some of the old Mego dolls. And I don't know, I love the Universal monsters, and I don't know why they only did Dracula, because I wish they would remake all of them. But yeah, you can get Dracula at Target. Do they? I know they have Target down there, because I would go to Target all the time.
Nope.
In Sydney. Yeah, they do. Oh no, they have IKEA.
What? We used
they
to
have
have
IKEA,
Target.
not Target.
Target didn't do well in
Sorry,
in Canada.
I got my shops all screwed up. They have IKEA.
Yes, they have IKEA. It's Swedish for common sense.
But you can get these at Target in the States. And Mike Stanmore, you let me know. He has the Star Trek Mego figures, which is kind of a big deal. They did re-release, I think, either Spock.
I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, show me some. I think, Mike, they either re-released Spock or Captain Kirk. I can't remember which one. They didn't do the whole line of any of them. They just released like one. They put out like Alice from the Brady Bunch, I Dream of Jeannie, Dracula, as I just showed you, one of the Star Trek characters. Yeah, I love the old monsters too. And I just converted a Wayne Manor. You do have Target. Shanie, they have Target.
Where?
In Australia.
Oh, I thought you meant in Canada. I thought you were talking to me.
I was talking to you, but I was talking to you about Australia.
Well, I can't speak for Australia.
Mike can. He's right there.
Not yet.
See, he said we have Target. Confirmed. Illuminati
Will
confirmed by Mike Stanmore.
See that?
What are these fancy things?
This is
a reproduction. That's fancy. That's very fancy.
What, the Spock?
IKEA. I know. Yeah, those are fancy figures. Wait,
No,
let's get back to let's do toys in a little bit before we start. We're getting so excited about showing our toys that we want to, get.
I'm going to show you my toy.
I want to show you my toys. I did bring these guys out because I just got these. So I've got the original Man-at-Arms, and I got Whiplash, and I got some more in my case over there. Funny story that's not funny. I had so much He-Man stuff. I had Castle Grayskull, I had Snake Mountain, and all these figures. And when I turned 18 and left Arizona for California, my dad gave them all to my nephews. And to this day, they're gone. We don't know where they went. I don't know if they, yeah, I don't like it either, Mike. Like I said, I wish they redid all the monsters, because this is the only one I could get. But he gave it all to my nephews, and to this day, it's just gone. Toriel says, I want your Spock. I like that.
Yeah, it's a 50 limited 50 anniversary Spock. It looks like the Mego that came out, which is why I used to have that Mego stupid Spock when I was a kid. And
stupid
I
Mego Spock, I can't believe it.
And I wanted it, and I ripped it because I played with it. Stupid me. Stupid.
You know what I was happy to find out about on the Toys That Made Us? So we both agreed that we really like the show. I love the show, and I love predicting.
No, I love the show.
No, I love the show. Shut up. And we're fighting online. I want your Spock. I keep looking at that. It's cracking me up. I want your Spock. I was very happy to notice that some of the royalty-free music that they use on the Toys That Made Us, I use in my videos.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I was like, I totally know that piece.
Where do you go? What site do you use?
I mean, everybody knows about this guy, but there's this really fantastic, like freelance composer named Kevin MacLeod. And he's got just tons of stuff. It's wonderful. You should always credit him, of course, if you use his stuff. But he did like Sneaky Snitch. He did some of the biggest YouTube videos use his music. You have to be careful because some of it is so overused. Yeah. That somebody go, oh, I already know that piece, and then they'll think you're just copying, but you're not copying because it's out there, in the public realm. Yeah, yeah. But he's pretty fantastic. When I get this video together, after we're done here, I'll spell his name down below, and I'll put like a link to one of his songs in there. But he's got a bunch of really great royalty-free music. And so they use some of the same sound effects. They use some of the same music. I mean, I use some of the same music, but they use there's no like who got it first. I think it's really well edited. I love that they do all the fun pop-up stuff, and I love seeing the art for the toys because I've never seen any of that stuff. It's probably my favorite thing.
Well, me, it's just like I like listening to the history. Like, there's so much stuff that you learn that you didn't know. Like in the second season, right? Did you see the second season?
Yes, I did. Let's move on to the second season.
Well, like Lego. Did you know Lego used to make started in the 1920s and used to make toys out of wood? Like I'm like blew my mind. I'm like, what? You made little wooden toys. They didn't even make the Lego pieces until what, 1960s or something?
Yeah. Well, they used to make. I mean, they used to make everything out of. They used to make everything out of wood, and then they were like, I have a couple times tried to get into Legos because I really like them and I love putting things together and building and everything, but they're so expensive. And if you miss out on one of the sets that you really like, then you have to get it on the secondary market, and those eBay people will just, they'll kill you with the prices that you're acting.
Go to thrift shops. You can find a lot of Lego. There's a lot of Lego in thrift shops if you want to get cheap Lego.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to get a set, that has a certain number of pieces and it comes with the instructions and it's very specific.
You can get those there too, by the way, if you're lucky. If you're lucky, you can.
If you're lucky. But yeah, Legos are expensive. A couple of my nephews are into it. Mike is asking, are you asking us this, Mike? Have you seen the videos from Royish Good Looks? I have not. I have not. Are those on YouTube? Should we look those up? Sounds fun. Because that's like boyish good looks, right? It must be like by a guy named Roy. Is that what? That's my takeaway.
And he's got good looks.
He's Royish, and he's got good looks.
But
I don't know. I guess he'll write the answer on there in a minute.
It's funny because I got Lego. I don't know if you guys ever do this. You guys get Lego like descended from like generations, passed to generations. And
well,
building.
See, I'm the baby in my family, and I'm the only boy. So nothing got passed down to me, because my sisters all had like girl toys or whatever they had, and we didn't share anything in common. Like they didn't like Star Wars, nothing like that. So I was kind of in my own little world.
Well, like we have this, like I have this giant pillow, like it's just loaded with Legos from Lego Past. Just like bits and pieces of Legos that just carry on for like, I have this like red steamship that I don't even know what year it's from. I should check it out. It's just like, it's old. I don't even know who it belonged. Could have been my grandfather's for all I know.
Yeah. I have a confession to make, and I like Star Trek. I never really followed Star Trek. I never was like, I didn't collect the toys. I didn't follow the series. I'm more of a movie guy, so it was easier for me. And I lived at the movies as a kid, so it was easier for me to go and see, like the Star Wars movies or the Dark Crystal or the Last Unicorn or something.
This just in: Star Trek was a movie.
No, you're right. No, I know. But I mean, like when it first started, because I was watching television when it was on. And I don't remember watching it much as a kid, every once in a while. But cartoons caught me, and Star Wars obviously caught me.
Well, I watched the cartoon at first. Believe it or not, I used to watch a lot of the cartoon before even the show. I was introduced to the cartoon of Star Trek, which they had. And that's when I had the toys from the cartoon. And then my father said, "Oh, it's a show." And then he used to sit down and make me watch because he's a huge Star Trek fan, and he made me watch all the old episodes. And then Next Generation came out, and I was already hooked on Star Trek. So that's where, but that toys one opened my eyes to a lot of things. Because they had so many stupid failures. Remember they had that we're talking bringing it back to the toys that made us. Remember? Yeah. And they had such stupid toy lines for that show. Remember they had like a Spock helmet with like a light. It was just it had nothing to do with the series at all. They just had like a helmet. And it said Spock on it, and in the tub was a light, like a red siren.
You know what I'm going to talk about? It was just ridiculous. It was like items that had nothing to do with the franchise whatsoever, and they were just like, put a Star Trek sticker on it, and there you go.
Yeah, they slapped Star Trek stickers on everything, and it wasn't even like, I think they had like a, you know, one of those helicopters that you throw, like it would, the propeller would spin. It was a helicopter, and it had Star Trek on it. Like it had anything to do with Star Trek, and they just pushed it out there. The only time they got. The only time they actually got something legit was when they decided, and they came up and said, here's a novel idea. Let's look at who's buying our toys. And they said, oh, it's collectors. So they started making stuff that was more for collectors, you know, like this, right? And that's where they started to do well, was in actually good toys with actual well-made. And they were making money on that, which, I mean, go blow, you know, actually looking at who's buying your toy. What is your audience? What is, you know, who's your market?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I feel like the Black Series is now with Star Wars. That's obviously for adult collectors because they're so detailed. Because honestly, kids don't care about details that much. They're just like, is it fun and do I like to play with it? Someone mentioned in the chat, someone mentioned that Halloween is their favorite, and I think that was Stormtrooper Babe. Can I scroll?
No,
oh, I can.
That's it. It's over. You mentioned
Stormtrooper Babe. Stormtrooper Babe, Halloween is my jam. I'm going to be talking and making videos about Halloween and some tutorials. You have no idea. It's my jam. It's totally my jam. So that'll be coming up. I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to kind of tie this to the Spock helmet for a second. Do you remember for Halloween, Kooky Spooks? They were these, you know how you would get the costume and you'd have that little vinyl suit. If it was like Wonder Woman, it would have a picture of Wonder Woman on the front. And then you get the little plastic mask, right? They had Kooky Spooks, which were these giant blow-up heads that you put on top of your head with this headgear. And then you painted your face the same color as the thing. So I did one year when I was far too old for it. And I was yellow, and I think it was just like a monster or something. There was like a witch, a cat, a monster or something, and it was yellow. And I'm walking around this covered in vinyl, big blow up yellow monster head. I felt like the biggest asshole. And I was walking around, and the vinyl came up to like just below my knees. I'm like, look at this. I'm too tall for this. Why am I walking around like an asshole? Anyway, that's enough of that. Hello Kitty freaked me out. Hello Kitty has always freaked me out.
What was the tagline that they used? Small. What was it? Small, big smiler, something like that. You know, they had this little tagline: "Hello Kitty, small toy, big smiler."
all I saw was nightmare. That
really?
Stuff freaks. Yeah. I do feel like that's where like pop figures come from. They kind of come from that, you know, big head, simplified eye design.
Well, it's considered kawaii, which is, I think it translates to cute.
Oh no, super cute.
Super cute.
Super cute. that I remember that they were like, it's super cute. Yeah.
They love that stuff there. Man.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother topic. And then Transformers. A couple of my friends were really into Transformers. I was still, you know, once I did Star Wars, I was kind of hooked. So I was kind of doing that.
Yeah.
But I had a friend who was super into Transformers, and he would always leave them out in the yard. I don't know why he did that, because they were not cheap either.
That's blasphemy.
Don't leave Optimus Prime in the yard.
Never. No, it was they were not cheap. They were not cheap toys, and they broke the minute you took them out of your pack. They were like made of like really interesting, like good strong metal. I like metal, but they were such a fragile metal that the minute you took it out and you tried to transform it, like snap. You know, you start crying.
See, that's why I stuck with Star Wars. It was plastic. Nothing came apart. Nothing came apart with Star Wars. You didn't have to be that careful with Star Wars. And He-Man, after a while, the legs give out, you know, because that was the first time that they had been like, you're like, oh, like standing like that. And the legs were the feet were pointing out that way. They didn't go this way. They went that way. So you'd stand up, you'd be like, oh. And they would just fall.
Did you ever do this? Did you ever like? Because I used to have like I used to break my toys a lot because I was careless. But I used to use my shoes as He-Man vehicles. Did you ever do that? Just put like a He-Man in it. Put like He-Mans in like shoes and just like use that as like an actual vehicle. Did you ever do that? I used to do that.
No, I didn't. That was a really good idea. I didn't. I did not do that.
It was like He-Man is in the giant shoe tracker.
He's in the Nike mobile. The Nike tracker, like flying to Castle Grayskull. Yes, see, Stormtrooper Babe said yes, yes, yes. Pumpkins galore.
Oh, that's
Pumpkins galore. What I did do, I was really crazy about my. I keep bringing this back to Star Wars, obviously. Ian's getting the guns out. I'm gonna get the shoes out. I'm gonna sit in the shoe. That's what I'm gonna do. What guns? Oh, do you mean me? No, get out of here.
I think she meant the actual guns.
The guns out. I don't know. What I used to do, there were two things. First of all, because Leia, unfortunately, was the only female figure, she dated everybody in my toy collection. So she dated He-Man for a while. She dated Han and Luke. She went out with Darth. She went out with Darth before The Empire Strikes Back because I didn't know she was. Well, no, before Jedi because I didn't know that he was her dad. You know, how was I supposed to know? I was a kid. And then the Darth Vader case. You know, the Darth Vader case. I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but when I put it back together, I would only put good guys facing good guys. Like that, because I didn't want an enemy to have to stare at a good guy or vice versa until I opened the case again, because I was convinced that they like had little conversations in there.
Then you saw Toy Story and you were convinced.
Then I saw Toy Story and I said that was not in vain. I made the right choice because they were all talking. Stormtrooper Babe loves Hello Kitty. Tell us a little bit about in there. What you like in it? When I commented, oh, I had my. Thanks, Mike. I try. I'm getting there. There will be improvements in the gun show. He was talking about my arms. That was nice of him. Thank you, Mike.
He likes.
I've gone bright red.
He's the man of arms.
A man at arms. Man at arms.
I don't have him. He's the one guy I lost when I was a kid, and I got it.
He pissed me off because the cartoon had a mustache. Duncan had a mustache, and in the toy doesn't.
So you just marker them.
Yeah,
just put a mustache with marker.
Oh, you know what else? Oh, I'll tell you something about toys when I was little. Because now we're in the toy. So wait, final thoughts on not on this video, but final thoughts on the toys.
On the toys.
I was trying to predict what they were going to cover next because there is another season coming up. So I think that they are definitely going to cover Cabbage Patch Kids. There's no way.
They already announced it, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, I think they already announced what they're because it's a really popular show, and they're going to be continue doing it. I think Smurfs is going to be in it. I think the Smurfs might. And I think Gem might be in it. I'm not sure.
Did you know that the word for Smurfs
I'm gonna look up
in Strump in Hungarian, because I had a Hungarian humanities teacher in high school. Smurfs are called Schlumpfies. And he loved the Schlumpfies.
I know in French it's Les Schtroumpfs.
Les Schtroumpfs. Yeah, Les Schtroumpfs. Oh, that's right. So Les Schtroumpfs and Schlumpfies.
Yeah,
so
well,
the Smurfs.
Weren't they based on like
Smurfs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Cabbage Patch, and I want to say My Little Pony, but it seems like they only do one line per series of four, one of four. That was more of a toy line for girls, because I noticed that in the very first one they did Barbie, obviously, because that's huge. In the second one they did Hello Kitty. So I think it's either My Little Pony or Cabbage Patch Kids in this next season coming up. I got to go work for them. I love it because I first of all, I already know half of their sound effects and their music. And then I know so much about like all those toys and everything. What's a Barbie thing? Toriel says that's a Barbie thing. Shanie, the Shanie Shootmobile. Where is everyone? Hey, Stormtrooper babe, get the word out that Shanie and Ian are up to no good. Get some more people on here. But we love having you here. We're very happy to have you here. You know?
Cabbage Patches used to creep me out, but I was, you know, the dolls, they creeped me out, but
that was another toy line that had a big scandal because those were actually stolen by the idea for those were stolen by somebody from a lady.
Was it?
Yeah. Oh, the guy Xavier who started those. Some lady used to make these dolls that looked like they were called like I don't know what the hell they were called. Something kids.
Were they made out of stumps like stockings or something, or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, they were made out. I think they were made out of like their face were made out of stuff like pantyhose.
Yeah.
So if you would fill them, and then if you would like push in the cheeks or something, it would look like they were puckered.
Dimples.
Wow, I'm not doing that again. Look what just happened to my cheeks. Stormtrooper babe has a real gun. Hey, you know, that's what you need when you live in Arizona. You don't know who's out here, man. I'll tell you what. And then nobody in my family ever did My Little Pony. I liked watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I didn't collect them because I was kind of getting older by then.
Yeah, and it was like 1988 they came out.
Yeah, so like Cabbage Patch Kids.
Well, what about Garbage Pail Kids?
Oh, I have those. I collected those. We have folks. Few of you in the comments section will know about this, about Circle K. We have that here, which is like 7-Eleven, which is like oh god, what do they have up in the Northeast? A Plaid Pantry. It's a convenience store. It's like a chain convenience store, and Circle K has been here for decades. And Circle K used to carry all the Topps collector cards for Star Wars and E.T. and Gremlins and Goonies, and they collected Garbage Pail Kids, and that was a big scandal in my school because they were kind of graphic. Was that? Oh, fuck. That's the new awesome one, right?
Yeah, I love this.
God, that's gorgeous.
You could actually remove the glove, and it had came with separate different hands. You could change. This was a great line. I love it. And the box is beautiful. It actually has some great art on it.
Didn't they stop? Didn't they like not make all the characters?
They made all of them. I've seen all of them online. I've seen all of them online. It's hard. I wanted Chitara so bad. I can't find her anywhere. And then when they do, you're gonna have to pay through the nose because you know girls toys are rare. And then I have.
Thing. Oh, Barbie's a flirting thing. Okay, I gotcha. And you have his sword?
Yes. Thundercats, ho!
Well, you know they came out with. Oh wait, let me finish up with Cabbage Patch Kids because I don't want to talk about them anymore because they freak me out too. They were such a huge phenomenon. I mean, they were basically like the Tickle Me Elmo of the '80s, and so.
I know, I'm Elmo. That tickles.
Okay, this broadcast is over, and I'm just kidding. But there was a service where you could have people babysit your Cabbage Patch Kids. You could bring them to the center and like drop them off. I mean, people were like spooky scary about Cabbage Patch Kids. It was bad. There was a train. You could send your fucking Cabbage Patch Kids on a train to go on a train trip. And you're just trusting that these people who are on the train, no adult, no live people, it's all dolls and these attendants who like lay them down for naps and take them on this train trip. This is a real thing. Look this up. This really happened.
I believe it. I believe anything. If people could have pet rocks, I can believe that they could send their...
My sisters had pet rocks. But two things I'm really excited about, except again, they're expensive, is I'm sure you know about that He-Man came out with the whole new classics line. So they basically redid in the correct way all the characters from the Filmation cartoon.
Extremely expensive. It's hard.
No, they're like $50 to $100, if not more, per figure. And
they're handmade, right?
They're handmade?
Yeah, they're made by somebody. They're not mass produced. They're made by, I forgot the guy. There's a guy who makes them himself. They're not made, I don't think, by like an actual major company. I think it's just a fan that makes them and he sends them. That's why they're so expensive. Okay,
look in the comments. See, Stormtrooper Babe said Smurfberry Crunch was the best cereal in the world. I have a story about that, Stormtrooper Babe.
Smurfberry Crunch? I never had.
I have a Smurfberry Crunch story. So that was one of the cereals, that was one of the food products that brought to the attention of the FDA that some food dyes were kind of like detrimental to humans if ingested. Maybe I shouldn't, I'm gonna talk about this. Maybe I should, I was gonna say maybe I should know, but I'm gonna. So Smurfberry Crunch was a big controversy because the dye would basically go through your system. No joke, no joke. Shanie's hiding behind his sword. It would go through your system, and it was a big scandal at my school, my elementary school, because it was making all the kids poop red and blue. What? I kid you not. It was making all the kids poop red and blue, and there was like a Smurfberry Crunch challenge at my school where we would go get our parents to buy it, eat it, see if it came out the other end that way, and then we'd report back to our other friends like, yeah, it did it to me too. Like, I pooped Smurfberry Crunch. Like, it made my poop all red and blue. And then they pulled it off the market.
Well,
I swear,
at least it was
by everything I hold true, huh?
The most patriotic poo ever.
No, it's like this bit. You know when you tell kids not to do something, they do it.
Well, when I was like, if that happened and I saw that and I was a kid, I'd be eating it purposefully just to see it be poo, and then just be like,
we were doing. We couldn't wait for the school day to be over so we could go to the grocery store and beg our parents to get us Smurfberry Crunch, and we'd eat a whole big bowl the next morning or that night before we went to bed without our parents knowing, and see next morning what turns up. And plenty of us had plenty to report.
Homemade Smurfberries.
Oh my God. Yeah, so they pulled that damn thing off the market. They pulled that damn cereal off the market because it was.
Well, I just wanted. I can understand where the blue came from because it's Smurfberry Crunch. Where did the red come from? I just want to know, is that
the red was the problem? Red dyes are a problem in food. Mike said, "I wondered why we never got Smurfberry Crunch." That's why you never got Smurfberry Crunch down under, Mike. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what happened.
Well,
oh my God, that's really funny. Yeah, I ate C-3POs.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Hold on, I'll get something right over there because you asked me to bring a couple toys over here, right?
Yeah, go get some toys.
Okay, so Shanie's gonna hang out with you for just a sec. I'll be right back.
Let's see what's going on in the chat, guys. Hello, everybody. This is me in charge of the show for Ian while he's gone. I'm gonna see if I can look at the chat. Because I don't have his access to what he has, what he's seeing. But yeah, no, I love 80s toys, and actually we're trying to start. Me and my wife was trying to start our own online what do you call it? Toy store. Is what we're trying to do, and we've been rummaging and finding things, and she's been like finding these weird. I don't know if you guys are into Gem. She's into Gem. She loves. She just got this Roadster that I forced her to get because she wasn't going to get it. It was a decent find, but we both have this kind of a thing where I do the guys, she does the girls, and it's fun that way. We're both into the same stuff, which is good when you can find someone who loves toys as much as you.
I made it back. Thanks for letting me take a little detour there for a second. Yeah. Oh, Teddy Ruxpin. They're probably going to do Teddy Ruxpin at some point because that was a huge phenomenon as well. So this is what
I saw Teddy Ruxpin today. I almost bought it.
I do have a plastic Cape Jawa. I just wanted you to know that. It's loose. It's not in the package, but that's like my pride and joy. I got that in, I think, 1993. Yes, I'm that guy who puts the figures in these little plastic coffins because it keeps them safe. But this is my best bin, Luke. But I have all of them. And you know something I didn't talk about was the Indiana Jones line from Kenner. This is what happened with Indiana Jones. You see, now
I never had that toy.
Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I always wanted one. I still haven't found
one.
one.
I love Raiders of the Lost Ark, except for that except for that damn scene at the end when they all melted. That scared the shit out of me. No, that was very upsetting to me as a child. But,
I can see that.
There
The whole movie was upsetting to me as a child.
the whole movie.
Spiders in the back.
There was a. Oh, that's right.
Like, it wasn't for kids. It was definitely for adults.
Shooting rattlesnakes. Woo. Oh, man. Stormtrooper Babe is like on her roof shooting rattlesnakes out here in Arizona. Yeah.
I want to go to Arizona.
Oh, that's why 80% Rock. Oh, yeah. They love it there. They love hanging out in there. That doesn't surprise me at all. But what happened with the Indiana Jones line was that, first of all, they released it a year after the film came out. So the excitement and the interest had already died down, and people were like, Indiana Jones? Indiana who? So people didn't really want the toys as much, and they were just sitting on the shelves. And this was around the time... This is around the time the Jedi stuff was on the shelf as well. And nobody was buying Indiana Jones stuff. And you could just...
But wasn't the movie rated R, though? Like, I don't think...
No, it was PG. It was actually PG. Yeah. Yeah. It was it was the Temple of Doom that that when they started. Temple of Doom was not the first movie to have it. Red Dawn was. But Temple of Doom was the first movie that kind of propelled the discussion about PG-13, and it was Steven Spielberg's idea because the industry was coming down, the censors were coming down on him, and he was like, "Well, what if we had something in between PG and R? What do we do? What about for like teenagers?" So he proposed it, and they took that they ran with that idea. But the very first movie to have a PG-13 rating, a lot of people think it's Temple of Doom, but it was actually Red Dawn. You remember that one? With Patrick Swayze.
Yes, I remember that one.
And tons of other 80s teen pinups. Yeah. it was like I don't know, like 80s hot people.
That's the one movie.
That and The Outsiders. Yeah.
I don't know why I don't like Red Dawn. It's the one movie I just can't. I
thought there's good reason. It's a really.
Yeah.
I didn't think the acting was good. The plot line was kind of like, what?
Well, yeah, like the Russians take over the United States and all these teenagers are running around. I just couldn't deal with it. I was like, what?
They're not just running around, they're running around in the snow. Okay.
Yeah. It was
so this is what happened with Indiana Jones and me. This is like a Saturday afternoon special, like Indiana Jones and me.
Indiana Jones and me.
Starring me. So
Indiana Jones, the Ian story.
Indiana Jones. There we go.
Indiana.
One of the main malls here was called Metro Center, and well, it's still here. But it's a dump now. And I practically grew up there, and there was a toy store in there that probably 85% of my Star Wars collection came from. And we went in there one day, and I remember that it was when the Kenner line for Star Wars was kind of slowing down, and they were starting to pump out those 2-packs. Do you remember those?
Yep.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about. And we went in there, and there was all the Indiana Jones figures, all of them, just on the shelf, and I think they were $1.58 each. Oh, it was at KB. It was at KB. Because KB always when they put stuff on clearance, it was always weird prices. It wouldn't be like a flat $1.50. It was like, sorry, I'm silencing my phone. It was like, $1.68 or something like that, or $1.42. But they had all the figures, and I had all of them, and I never even played with them. I took them out of the package, but I never played with them. And when I moved back to Phoenix after living in New York, I was super poor. My dad had just passed away, and I was getting my own place, and I sold them all because they were, I thought that I wasn't interested in Indiana Jones anymore. Well, here I am years later, and I got reinterested in it. I rebought everything. So I have the whole collection. I had everything. So I bought the whole collection again.
I have never even.
I'm never doing that again, huh?
I don't think I've ever seen them when they came out. I don't remember ever seeing Indiana Jones toys when I was young. Here's
the Indiana Jones figure. He's right here. Check him out. Can you see him?
No, I've seen him now, but I haven't seen him when I was young. I didn't see him. That's
okay.
what I heard.
Yeah,
I never.
No, they kind of rebooted the line when Temple of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out. They kind of rebooted the line and then went back through all the movies and did modern versions of all the characters. So they look much better now. They're just a little more cheaply made.
You know what I did today? For some weird reason, I decided I felt nostalgic. I do this once in a while. I watched all these old 80s toy commercials. Do you ever do that? Watch the old 80s toys commercials?
I love them.
I know. It's just, you want to watch them, and just like people have them, and they have like hundreds of them in a row, and you just watch them going, oh my God, I forgot about that toy. Oh, I forgot about that Inhumanoids. What the hell I forgot about Inhumanoids? And you just remember all these old toys that you didn't like, because the 80s, remember, there was so many toy lines that came out that just like would come out for like a couple of years, and then they'd leave, and then you're like, and I remember Centurions. What else is there? There was I love the Centurions.
I had Tron too. I had Tron. I thought Tron was really cool.
The movie, right? You talking about the
movie, and the figures were clear. I was like, ooh, this is really cool. They got scraped really easily, and I never had the motorcycles. I never had the Tron cycles, but I had the figures, and I had these pain in the ass little discs. Do you remember those? Remember they would like throw frisbee in the film, and then beat each other up. They had these little glow in the dark discs that went into their backs, and I never lost my Star Wars weapons, but weapons for other figures, I think because I knew how hard my parents worked to get me that stuff, that if I lost like one weapon, I would totally flip out. I lost one.
I wasn't as thoughtful as you as a kid. I wasn't quite that thoughtful when it came to. I never thought
it was thoughtful so much as OCD. I don't know. I think you were fine. You were probably a normal kid, and I was a little, little nutso kid. That's pretty funny. Wait, Stormtrooper Bay. Oh my gosh, they're talking about so much stuff. They're talking about shooting rats, shooting rattlesnakes over here. Stormtrooper Bay says, does anyone remember Motorific and their Zeroids robots? Do you remember Zeroids, Shanie?
No, actually, I do not remember.
I thought of GoBots. That's what I thought they were, but I don't know if we had those here, Mike. The Zeroids. I'll have to look those up. I'm interested to find out what they are.
I am looking them up right now. They're they're like old robotic toys. They look like old sci-fi, like 1950s sci-fi. Sci-fi robots from Danger, Will Robinson, Danger, that kind of robot. They do look like those.
Oh, I do love robots. I've always loved robots. Stormtrooper Babe, no, I did not buy up all the Indiana Jones toys. There's still tons out there.
He really bought them all so that none of the kids could play with it, because he had them all in a little box.
Well, I think the line didn't do well because they were kind of serious for action figures, because there was like the Well of Souls, and it came with all the snakes and the mummy, and then they had the convoy truck. Remember, he's on the convoy truck and he crashes through the windshield, and he's hanging off by the Mercedes in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
The Mercedes.
He's going somewhere. Shanie's going somewhere. I've never seen another part of your house, Shanie.
Do you see that?
Oh, see, he's doing more toy bragging. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Zeroids were from the 60s. Oh, okay.
No, someone said in the comments, show toys. So I'm starting to show toys.
Show toys. Should I do that too?
That's the point.
Well,
show toys.
My toys are not well lit currently at the moment. I will show them soon, though. I promise. I really will.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
I know, it's show and tell at grade school over here. Oh, you know what I can show you, though? I will show you. Who has a cat? I have a cat. I have 2 cats. Who's talking about cats? We're getting it all out tonight, aren't we?
I got you. Let's show us.
So you entertain them for another second, and I will go get my Batman 2003 Wayne Manor that I transformed into a haunted mansion for my Universal Remco monsters. And then we're probably getting ready to wrap it up here soon. But I'm going to leave this to Shanie for just a moment, and I'll be right back. He's looking at She-Ra.
This is She-Ra, guys, not Netflix, whatever the hell that was supposed to be. This is the real. This is the good She-Ra line. That one, she likes the She-Ra. I just got this castle. I just got this yesterday. That's why I'm not bragging, but it was an interesting find. I've had this when I was a kid, and I lost it, and I've wanted it so bad ever since I got it. Ever since I broke my toys when I was a kid. I was a messy little guy. Still am. But yeah, that's why I had to get that toy.
All right, you asked for it.
Back
asked
again.
for it.
Bring it up.
All right. Yeah, Stormtrooper Babe. I worked at Disneyland from 1992 to 2000, and I was there when the Indiana Jones ride opened in 1993, I want to say, and it was great because there was a cast party, and you could go on as many times as you wanted, and obviously it wasn't crowded. It's a shame because that ride has really fallen apart, and there's a lot of stuff on there that isn't really. It's really just never going to get fixed. It would cost thousands of dollars, but everything was working when I first went on the ride, and I've also mentioned this in another video. Yeah, Shane is showing off, but I love it. Are you there, Shanie?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just responding on the chat. I heard I'm showing off. I'm not going to show off no more.
He's showing off. He's showing off. Yes, Stormtrooper Babe. I am in Arizona. Okay, so here it is. I told you I was going to bring it over. So this is the 2003 Wayne Manor. There it is, right there.
Now look who's showing off.
Now look who's showing up. And it used to be for Batman. I saw this playset and I was like, that could be a great haunted mansion. So I painted it, I stained it, I added some gargoyles and stuff there on the top, and then I made all these dead vines out of cloth covered wire that I got at the hobby shop, and I painted it. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. And it has doors in the front. Hello, right there. It has doors. That's a lot of fun.
How did you get in there? That's crazy.
Yeah. And then here is, I have all of them, but I only brought this one over. But here, here's my 1980 Remco Universal Dracula, who's supposed to look somewhat like Bela Lugosi, and he does. He looks pretty good. Yeah, and you can see some of the influences there as well, like with the vinyl cape, just like the Star Wars figures, because this was a couple of years after Star Wars figures. And they're 3 3/4 inch, and they have their joint. They have five joints, so the arms, the legs, and the head. They don't bend at the knee or anything like that.
And
but
you don't like
this was a
And you don't like them talking to each other because werewolf and the vampire can't talk to each other.
Yeah.
Because remember you said you were a kid?
I'm creature to talk to anybody. But one of my favorite things about this is that it has a skylight. It has these collapsible skylights. And I stained those so they kind of look like dirty windows, like dirty pillows. So anyway, so that happened, and there's that. And that's just in time for Halloween, because October is not too far away.
It's my birthday. Tis my birthday.
That's right.
Halloween.
So Toriel has 3 cats. Stormtrooper Babe has 4 cats. And yes, we had a Metro Center in North Phoenix out here, up off of Dunlap Avenue. And it was, I think it was the first 2-story mall in the United States. I might be wrong about that, but I'm not sure. How you holding up, Shanie?
Doing good. See, I got 1 cat here.
You have Snarf. See, this is just disintegrated into a show off our toys thing. But you know what? That's what Toys R Us. That's what. Oh, let's not talk about Toys R Us because they closed.
Nope, I still have Toys R Us here in Canada.
What?
Yep. I go to all our Toys R Us are safe here in Canada. They were.
That's bullshit. R Us.
I think somebody like they were gonna close, and somebody saved it. Somebody gave them money to save it. Here.
Really? Well, we could have saved Toys R Us. We could have.
Yeah, there was a private investor decided to swoop in. I forgot who it was, and save them.
But
here.
You know what I managed to get before they closed was they made a child-sized version of Luke's land speeder that's battery operated, and so a little kid can sit in it and drive it, and it has buttons and lights and everything. So I got one for my nephews for when they come over, they can ride in it.
They're like, "What
Only
is
one
it?
of them though, because my other nephews are lunatics, and they're gonna.
It's a land speeder, and they're gonna be like, "What is this land speeder?" You're gonna have to show them the whole movie. Because they have to know what you're talking about.
The glow in the dark. I love glow in the dark stuff. Oh, Stormtrooper Babe likes glow in the dark stuff. I'll do an episode on my channel about like what I do at my building, because we live in an area that gets a ton of trick-or-treaters. Oh God, we can't get into Halloween because that's gonna go on.
Hey, Stormtrooper, do you have like stars, glow in the dark stars in your room, like on the ceiling? Do you ever have that? I used to have.
She says she likes glow in the dark stuff, so it could very well. Toriel, yes, it was a really good job. I did it for 8 years. I was a performer there and an artist. But I'm glad I left when I left, because I left loving it, right? And it was after that I noticed that things were really changing with the Disney company and everything. So I'm glad that I was there when I was there, because I think I had some really good memories, and I had some really good times at Disneyland in California. You don't have that in Canada, Shanie, so suck it.
We almost did.
You did that. You had Canadian.
I didn't tell you what happened this year. We got trolled big time in Toronto. So there was in April 1st. Right before April 1st, we had the whole week where there's an article that came out in the Toronto Star about how Disney is looking to make a northern theme park with Frozen, and they said Toronto was one of the finalists for it, and then they even drew up where they were going to put it. It was going to go in the Toronto Islands, and it was going to have a northern theme and winter theme, and everybody here in Toronto bought it hook, line, and sinker. We were all excited. Oh my God, Disneyland is coming to Toronto, right?
Were you excited?
Oh yeah, I was extremely excited. I was like, it's kind of impractical because it's a big city. I don't know where the hell you're gonna put it. They gridlocked the entire downtown area, especially where they were planning to put it. It was like it was gonna be really hard. But then I was like, then afterwards, April 1st came, and it was like, by the way, April Fools, and I was like, you motherfuckers! Everybody, they had plans. This is how detailed it was. The actual newspaper, which was trolling everyone, had plans about where the rides were going to be, what kind of rides, in what location. It was so detailed that everyone bought it. And we were all like telling our friends, we were sharing it. Oh, look, Toronto's getting a Disney World, and then we just, now we got.
That's so shitty, but I love it. That's totally shitty. That's totally shitty, but I love it. Oh, Toriel and did Mike leave? Mike might have left. I don't know. I don't know where Mike went. But Toriel and Stormtrooper, here's one of my babies. This is Tristan. He's such a good guy. He's such a good guy. He came over to visit me, so I thought I would take that opportunity to introduce you. Smart people have cats. I hope so. I have 2, so I hope I'm like twice as smart. I don't know. Twice as smart. Look at Shane. He's running around in his Toyland over there. We're probably getting pretty close to wrapping this up because we've been going for a while. We talked about so much stuff. We talked about what's he got now? Is that a cat?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I guess we're all having a cat fest now.
The cats that made it.
Hi, Mike. Welcome back.
This is a pussy fest.
A pussy fest, nice, very nice.
Pussycat, come on.
Yeah. Oh, Pussycat Fest. Okay. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes to get viewers, we'll get you on here. Whatever we have to say. So Shanie, any more opinions about Toys That Made Us or any other toys before we get ready to head out here?
No, I mean, I just, the only thing I want to talk, I just think that like the toys, it's sad. It's sad. I'm gonna finally say it's kind of sad that, like you said, Toys R Us went out of business. And even though it's still here in Toronto, Canada, it's still not as what it used to be. And it's kind of because the industry is dying. I mean, your video games are killing it. You have, it's sad because the imagination that I think you and I have and what we did, like, you know, came from toys and playing with toys and stuff. And I think like that's something that I think the future is gonna miss once it's all gone. And
I think kids' imaginations are being pulled in a different direction.
well, I mean, what imagination are you having in front of a computer screen playing Minecraft?
That's true. God,
I mean,
are we turning into old men?
I'm already there.
Get off my lawn!
I don't know what the hell is Minecraft. I don't know anything about that.
I worked in a mine long ago.
And we couldn't make any crafts or we'd explode.
That's fine. Look at all these hearts and stuff. I love it. Mike found his way back because he's Mike, you came back just in time for us to be close to signing off. Because we've been going for a while and we have not stopped. I love it. I'm having a great time. So I'm really looking forward to, I don't know when the new season is supposed to come out for
I don't know either.
the toys that made us.
I hope they come out more frequently. They're well done and well made documentaries, and actually there is another one, by the way. If you want to check it out, it's also on Netflix. I think it's called The Power.
I just watched that.
Oh, did you see it?
It's called The Power of Grayskull.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And the only thing that I didn't like, it was so in depth. The only thing that I don't like about it was that the soundtrack the entire time was like this low frequency, like all the way down. I'm like, what the hell is this music?
I think they just had a guy humming.
Like, here's what not to do in a YouTube video is put a low frequency, like serious low hum music in the back of your video.
They just had three guys in the backwards just.
Yeah, it probably was like the backup singers for the Emperor. They're like, oh, yeah.
Did he actually have? Did the Emperor actually have backup singers every time?
Of course he did. They were in a deleted scene, but their voices were used.
Dun 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 dun. Dun.
You know that's what happened.
Coming in.
The Emperorettes. All right, we had better call it a night for this one, but it's been a hell of a lot of fun. So, Shanie is shaking his head. Yes. Shanie,
sorry for bragging, guys.
Sorry, I'm not sorry. Don't apologize for bragging about your toys. Look how excited they were. They're like everybody. Oh, Mad Talk just got. Hey, Mad Talk, how are you? You just got here, and we're very close to signing off. We have spilled the beans, and the Brady Bunch is here. Hey, Brady Bunch. Hey, very nice to see you, folks.
There's the story
of a person named Brady. STB. What's STB? I forgot. What's STB, Shanie?
It's some kind of disease. I don't know. What is it?
Shut the book. Oh my God! What the heck does I forgot? You know, I'm not good at acronyms. Somebody did.
I can't even pronounce acronyms.
LMBO the other day, and I said, "Oh, STB is Stormtrooper Babe." Stormtrooper Babe is so popular that she has an acronym.
Well, we should have known that.
We should have known that. You never told us your secret identity, Stormtrooper Babe. That's hilarious. Oh, she mentioned Dunlap. Yes, I'm very familiar with Dunlap, Stormtrooper Babe. Sounds like STD. Stormtrooper. Sorry. What is going on in the chat?
This is just
degenerated into. We're talking about toys. You know what? Before we are signing off pretty soon here, but you should tell us in your live chat what everyone who's on here, each of your favorite childhood toys. So one each would be great. And there's hybrid. So Toriel, Stormtrooper, Mad Talk. One favorite toy from your childhood. Mike, Brady, Mike Brady. Haha. I meant Mike Stanmore and the Brady Bunch. So go ahead and put those in there. Good day, the Brady Bunch. Good day, the Brady Bunch. Weren't we going to do an entire episode in Australian accents?
No, never heard of it.
Never, ever, ever.
Never thought about doing it at all.
Oh, man.
Maybe we should do it in New Zealand accents.
Brady Bunch is crying, laughing. Laughing through the tears. That's what I say. No, but folks, we really are the original Millennium Falcon. Yes. Where's mine? Mine's
oh,
right
that's
around
the
here
one
somewhere.
toy I wanted so bad that I never, you'll never be able to afford it now.
Yeah. You know what shit I never got into? What they look like Lego people. No, they're not. They're like this big, and they're like molded, and they have like Simpson jagged hair, and really simple. They're little plastic figures.
What?
You bet, Toriel. We love having you here. I can't remember what they're called, but they're very expensive, and they're either from France or Germany. And
1010?
no, it kind of looks like Legos, but it's not, like bigger Legos.
Oh, not Duplo. What the heck? I know what you're talking about, though. Now that I know.
Oh yeah, I know what Duplo is.
No, not Duplo. Duplo is like the kid line for Lego. No, I'm talking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Duplo's like the bigger Lego. Yeah, Mad Talk. We yeah, why not? We learned how to do it. It's great. We can see each other and we can show you stuff because we've been showing off some toys and stuff tonight since we were talking about the Toys That Made Us series on Netflix, and then we started talking about our favorite toys, and everyone joined. They joined us, so it was a great way to show off what we've got. But Shanie over there in his shop. So folks, we are going to call it a night. We've been going for a while, and we don't, we want to quit while we're ahead so that we don't spoil, we don't jabber on for too long if we haven't already.
We don't get boring. I don't want to be boring.
So we don't get boring because no one wants to.
When we start getting boring, Ian and I, we just resort to like Homer versus Homer antics, and it'll just be like me do Homer, then she does Homer, and then Homer took. We actually talked about this once, didn't we? Like
we did. Wait, Mad Talk, thank you for joining us so much. Thank you, Mad. We'll let you know another time, and we hope to see you soon and see you live streaming. If you guys aren't already subscribed to Mad Talk, he's a great channel, does a lot of Star Wars stuff and film commentary and pop culture commentary, stuff like that. So go check him out, Mad Talk. Excuse me, so sorry. So he has impressions. Well, we're gonna have to get your ass on a live stream over here, if you will. Yeah, we would love to have you. Maybe we'll have a night where we do all our impressions or something, because I'm really interested in voiceover work, and Shanie's terrific.
Nah.
So I'm gonna say thank you so much to those of you who joined us tonight.
Yes,
we
guys,
love
thanks.
having you here.
Nice.
Shanie, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much for being.
You could have. It just wouldn't be as fun. I'm kidding.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm just
Mad Talk. I will be doing. I know we talked about doing another one on your channel. I don't know if I turned you off on it now.
No, I'm not commenting on that. Okay. Yes, Tristan is beautiful. So we're gonna sign out. This is gonna be on my channel, so you can check it out another time. So Mad Talk, you can check back in and see what we talked about. Very happy to have you all here tonight. Again, Shanie, thank you so much. And
thank you for having me. I'm always available.
And we are over, and I get out. Good night, everybody.